I've been running company for 8 years. If you ask me as a leader or CEO, what is the most difficult job? I think more than growing a business, laying off people or firing people is the most difficult job that I have ever performed. Hiring people is easy. They're happy. Their family's happy. Great package, great benefit, great culture. And as soon as they do their job, but if they're not performing or doing the wrong tasks, if they're not performing or underperforming, or they have a attitude, cultural fit problem, if they have an attitude problem, it's difficult to fire people. But I wish that anyone who didn't work out, that I could have done better to letting them go earlier, because the longer they stay, it's bad for the company, it's bad for the team, and it's also bad for them as well. Maybe they would have better life elsewhere. But I think also one of the mistakes as leaders we make is as if we're responsible for their family and their kids because we're a small company. I mean, small means we have a few hundred employees, so we still know each other. And we know their wives and kids and spouses and families, right? So it is hard to let go when you imagine what's going to happen to them. But at the same time, what I've realized is we're not responsible for their family. We're responsible to run this company in a way that this company will keep growing and providing value to the society. If Sideo is a vehicle that will serve people and take them to a better destination called better life, because we're teaching people coding and teaching them IT and helping them to get a better job. If this is our business, if the company goes down, it's good for no one. So our number one goal should make sure that the company is up and running. So I wish that there were many people, I believe, that whether intentional or unintentional, they were damaging the company. But just because I didn't have courage to let them go, we end up paying way more price than we should. It damaged us. It damaged our reputation. I think one of the most important lessons that I've learned in 8 years leadership is hire slow and fire fast. And that's one thing. The second thing is, I believe, if you look at the industry, the interview process of hiring a new team member is what? Like you review their resume and where they can write anything. They can literally claim they're Iron Man, right? Nobody's going to complain. It's their resume. They write anything. So you take their resume, and if it's impressive, you're going to have a phone interview. After that, you're going to have face-to-face interview. After a few rounds of interview, you're like, oh, fantastic. Let's hire this person. And it's less than a month and less than 4 or 5 hours of interaction with the candidate. Assume somebody's in my age, 38 years old, okay? It takes 38 years to shape this person's personalities and competencies. And now you want to learn this 38 years old person's competencies and personalities in 4 hours. I feel like you don't have enough time. So now I feel like lots of interviews are misleading because many people in the interview, they want to impress you. So they could be a different person in the interview. So you don't know this person, how they'll act outside if you're not there, if people are not watching, how do they treat other people? You don't know. But you only see that person with the suit and tie and very impressive dress in the interview. So you assume the person is good, but you don't know other things. So therefore you make a decision, and sometimes it works out, but sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't work out, it's very painful for the company. So therefore, one of the lessons I've learned is if I want to hire a person full-time, especially for key roles, I have something called a dating period. So it's like a marriage, right? You don't marry people after meeting them 4 times. You have to date the person. You have to understand the personalities, the culture, even the family, right? The background, right? You go to a dinner to see if the person, how do they treat the waiter, right? That's even an indicator. Do you leave tips or not, right? So all the small details matter. So I have this dating period with the employees, the future candidates. So we go for a hike. We do a couple projects. And it takes a few months for us to understand that person. And then, if you're sure after a few months, then we're hiring the person. And most of the time, those hires turned out to be very, very successful. But the problem is, now the market is hot. Everybody's looking for a job. That person may not wait for you and they could get a different job, but we're doing best we could. But I believe 4 hours interaction with the candidate and thinking that you can take this candidate to solve problem in your company and turn your company around, that is not realistic. It takes time to understand the people. It takes time to understand if they're going to deliver what they promised. It's very costly to hire a wrong person. That is 2 leadership lessons that I've learned in past 8 years. And the most painful one, fire fast, hire slow. I wish I could understood this. I wish I knew this 8 years ago. I'll be in better, probably I'll be a CEO for a bigger company.